I got digital dash, can't ride with a op. I walk in the store and I buy the stock. I hide in the bins and pull out the lot. Got Tiffany diamond, it cost me a lot. They flying like birds, but drop on this hot. 400 degrees, I burned up the block. Burn out, make one call, they turn out. CC the gang, get the word out. When the shit getting hot, you the first out. Cover my wrist with a watch and I flood it with rocks. Now I look at the time all day. Be high, I ride through your block and I drop off the top. And I know you can see my face. You my dog at the end, don't care what the bitches say. I got digital dash, can't ride with a op. I walk in the store and I buy the stock. I have in the bins and pull out.
Alright, before we go too far into this video, I want to make sure to go over this. Now, we were at 4.2%. We're all the way up to 9.7%. But still, 90% of y'all that are watching my videos aren't even subscribed. I know y'all mess with the videos. We finna be going so crazy, so you might as well hit that sub button. It's that simple.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Fitz back with yet another video today. I'm coming to you guys with the best defensive badges in the game. Now, I've already give you guys the best finishing, shooting, and playmaking badges in the game. If you guys want to see that already, just go ahead, go down in the description or the comments. It should be a link in the description, but it should also be a link in the comments if you want to see any of those things. I also have already ranked all of the badges in order, so if you guys also want to see that, the link for that will be in the description and in the comments. But also this week we got some crazy stuff coming. I got y'all with the best defensive badge setup and the best defensive badge method. So if you guys want that, go ahead, spam the like button on this video. Now, a lot of people be asking me for pretty much gameplay videos. I have a gameplay video coming out, pretty much like the part 2 of the using YouTubers jump shot series. Y'all really went crazy on the Tyson one. That's already at over 10K on next gen, and that's really good. So yeah, we're gonna be going with part 2. That's gonna be dropping this week. I also got the best big man animations. I got a lot of stuff coming out very soon. This is gonna be pretty much the end of me pretty much going over like everything in order when it comes to the finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defensive. So when people actually start getting the game, if they actually get this game, they'll just be able to go and look at these videos. But yeah, for today, I'm gonna be going over the best defensive badges. So if you haven't already left a like on this video, I really would appreciate it. It makes you go out to a lot more people. Subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 100K. We just hit 66K, so I really do appreciate it. But yeah, man, if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, please do hit that sub button. But without further ado, let's go ahead, hop straight into it. Alright, so hopping into the list, pretty much y'all know how these badge videos go out. Pretty much I'll give you guys the honorable mentions, then I'll go over the top 5. And all this is pretty much gonna be in some type of order. Honorable mentions are all honorable mentions because they could have been in the top 5, but I just feel like it's 5 badges better than them. So first badge we're gonna go over is off-ball pass. The reason why this badge is pretty much on the list is because it's a good badge for like pretty much, it's like a good badge as a replacement badge. So like the way I use it, I try to use it for when I have a build that doesn't have a steal rating. So if I don't have a steal rating, it makes it a lot harder to stop lobs. So this is like the best badge for pretty much stopping lobs if you don't have a steal rating. It's also a good badge to stop lobs if you have a steal rating, because you can get into people's bodies, bump them as much as possible so that they can't like get the animation off, especially with this year with how they have contact alleys. So like you just get into people's body and trying to bump them, that's not always going to work if you don't have this badge on, because they can just get a contact alley-oop now. But yeah, I really like this badge pretty much in particular for trying to stop lobs, but it's also like the clamps for off ball, and it actually works. So yeah, man, off ball pass is going to be an honorable mention on this list. Alright, next is another badge that's actually good. Now, pretty much all the rest of these badges are going to be useful for something, just some just didn't make top 5. So, next badge is going to be Hot Stopper. This is going to be the badge that's going to be helping you with takeover. Now, when it comes to the playmaking, shooting, those are very overpowered. I would feel like the finishing is a little bit, it's just as good, it's just a little bit of a tier below. It's just a lot easier to do that because it's finishing. Now, the thing about defensive, it's even harder than finishing, and it's not gonna be impacting your takeover as frequently, so it can't be as overpowered as ones like Heat Seeker, Hot Shot, or Special Delivery. So in my opinion, I would say it is a good idea of a badge. It's a good badge, but if you're not getting a lot of steals, you're not getting a lot of blocks, it's just not as useful of a badge to waste your badge points on. But it is pretty overpowered if you're a person that's getting a lot of blocks a game. You're a person that's getting a lot of steals a game. Alright, next. Now, every badge from here on out could actually be in the top 5 for sure. Now, you could argue it. Now, next is going to be Rebound Chaser. Improves a player's ability to track down rebounds from further distances than normal. So this is pretty much a badge that's going to help you snag more. The badge that's going to help you get more rebounds. So yeah, this is going to be pretty much the badge to get rebounds. It's pretty important in this game with how everybody has high rebounding stats. Everybody has Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser so that they can do it. So the fact that everybody uses this, on top of the fact that it works, on top of the fact that it's so necessary. It's so necessary because if you don't have it to the same thing, you're at a disadvantage. Now, if you're more skilled and you know how to do rebounding, you don't necessarily have to go max on it. So that's another thing about this badge that makes it good. You don't have to always have it at Hall of Fame, but you should have it on, whether it's at bronze, silver, gold, or Hall of Fame. So yeah, man, Rebound Chaser is another one of the best defensive badges in the game, but it does come in at the honorable mention on the list. And last but not least, for the honorable mentions on the list. Now, this could arguably be the best defensive badge in the game because of how necessary and how needed it is. But the only thing I would say about this badge, or the only reason why it's not in the top 5, because in my opinion, it just doesn't work to the way it should. Like, defense in this game is so hard because the Clamps badge doesn't work the way it should. Now, especially like when you get to tiers like Hall of Fame, you would think it would be exponentially better. I just don't see the biggest difference of having this badge at gold, silver, and bronze than having it at Hall of Fame. And even if you don't have it on, you're gonna play pretty similar defense. The defense in the game is what's the skill gap. So when it comes to like, it's gonna help you get a lot of bumps, but a lot of times you will get ran right past, people will get easy dunks because run running is just that easy because Clamp's badge doesn't really work to the effect of how it should, in my opinion. Now, one thing I would say about this badge is like the best badge for on-ball defense, whether you're going full court, half court, ISO screens, but mainly ISO. And the reason why it's so important because everybody in this game pretty much ISO. That's pretty much like the meta for this game because everybody can do everything. And with everybody able to shoot, you gotta play people so high. The negatives about this badge and how it doesn't work, it's supposed to be stopping blow-bys, but people can just run right past you. So I feel like if they ever patch this badge to make it better or buff it, I feel like this badge could definitely have an argument for being just as good as the #1 badge on this list. All right, next, now we're in the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is going to be the Intimidator badge. This badge, you could argue it should be higher because of how high of the contest you get on a consistent basis, but at the same time, the contest system is kind of inconsistent sometimes. So, with that being said, also another thing when it comes to this badge, people can hit pretty high contests in this game. Now, they kind of nerfed that a little bit, but it still happens occasionally. Even if you're not greening, you can get hit. People can hit whites pretty consistently at a high contest, especially if they have takeover. So yeah, Intimidator, definitely the best badge for getting shot contests. That's literally what it's for. But it's just some things that's like, it's some varying things that when it comes to things like how overpowered blinders is. It's a lot of things that go into this badge being not as good as it could be. All right, next. Now, this is going to be the first stealing badge on the list. It's going to be Intercepted. It's going to be pretty much the frequency of successfully tipped or intercepted passes greatly increases. So as you keep putting this up, your passing lane defense is going to be at a different type of level. Like, if you don't know what this is based off of, there's going to be like your pass perception and stuff like that. So the higher your steal rating, the higher pass perception is, the better it's going to go hand in hand with a badge like this. Now, for a lot of these badges, you know, that's why I haven't really went too in detail on this, but for a lot of these badges, you have to have a certain attribute to a certain rating. This is one of those badges. So yeah, this is pretty much really dedicated to the steal rating and pretty much dedicated to the pass perception rating. This is going to be helping you playing a lot better in those passing lanes at a really crazy rate. And this badge is very overpowered. It's very overpowered. I can argue it being higher. I feel like these 3 badges above it are better, but this is one of the more overpowered badges in this game. All right, next, this is a badge that is 100% needed in this game. Chase down artists. boosts the speed and leaping ability of a player when chasing down an offensive player in anticipation of a block attempt. So pretty much, you know how I was just talking about clamps. People can just blow right past you. This is like the bats that cancel out people just blowing right past you and either getting a contact dunk or just getting a block. So pretty much what people like to do now, instead of like trying to stay on people's hip, they try to lack a little bit so they can go for the chase down block and put this with a badge that's going to be above it. It's going to be pretty consistent at getting stops like that. So yeah, chase down artists, really good for like people that want to rim run and you can just come up behind them and get block animations. The only thing is, it's not as overpowered as 2K20. It is, in my opinion, better than 2K21 current gen, but on next gen, it definitely is just a much more needed badge with how much of a skill gap the defense is in this game. The only thing that's really a skill gap in this game is the defense, in my opinion. Like, if you can play better defense than somebody, you're gonna have a higher chance of beating that person. It's just that simple. Like, offense is just so easy. You need to find more and more ways to get stops. And this is one of the best ways to get stops in the game. And all right, next. Now, this could arguably be the best badge in the game because the badge above it is just so overpowered to the fact that it should be in its own realm, own tier. But coming in at the number 2 badge on the list is Rim Predator. It's a list of options that this thing does. I go over every video when I go over these bad setups in these build videos, but let me go ahead and explain what it does. Not only does it improve a player's ability to block shots and unlock special block animations that only come with this specific badge, it enhances badges like Intimidator and Chase Down Artist, which are literally on this list. So those badges work even better when you have this badge. It also enhances your teammates' takeover whenever you get a block, while also enhances your teammates' takeover at the park whenever you do a hard foul. So yeah, man, it does a lot. It does a lot. And the only way you can cancel it out, and this badge is not even gonna fully cancel it out, but the best way to try to cancel out the improving the blocking factor of this badge is using Giant Slayer. So you have to pretty much waste badge points from your finishing to try to cancel out this badge. Now, a lot of people don't do that on this game because of how overpowered finishing is. But yeah, man, Rim Protector, one of the best, most overpowered badges in the game. It's one of the most needed badges, probably the most needed badge in the game with how people love to rim run in this game. But yeah, Rim Protector comes in at the number 2 spot on the list. Alright, and coming in at number 1, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. If you play this game, you understand how overpowered this badge is, and it's pickpocket. You can try to put badges like Unpluckable on to cancel out. If you have a high steal, Unpluckable really doesn't even matter anymore. Put that on top of having a badge like Pickpocket at Hall of Fame. I'm gonna just go ahead and say this. Pickpocket Hall of Fame, it literally is the best way to get stops in this game. It's the best way. It's the most consistent way to get stops. The reason why is because not only does Pickpocket now allow you to get more steals on ball, whether it's bump steals, which is very overpowered because it, you know what I'm saying? Unpluckable doesn't even stop that. But it also helps you poke the ball loose a lot more, while also allowing you to reach in a lot more without getting called for fouls. So it does all that in one. So when it comes to this game, the steal rating is a little bit broken when it comes to being able to rip people no matter what their ball handle is. And a lot of people, they don't even have these crazy high ball handles they possibly could have because they're 6'7" power forwards. And with being 6'7" power forward, you're not gonna have as high of a ball handle as like a 6'4" build. It's just that simple. So when you're not having as high of a ball handle as you possibly could have, you know what I'm saying, and steal rating being even more important or overpowered than ball handle, where it like can overpower it and you can steal anything with even a low steal. Say that, for instance, you have a high steal and you have Hall of Fame Pickpocket. It just takes it to a whole nother level. I have one of these builds that don't have a high steal. I have a build that has a high steal. The difference on how consecutive you can get steals if you're timing the dribble, it's way too easy. It almost has no skill, you know what I'm saying, to it. So yeah, Pickpocket, 100%, in my opinion, is probably the most overpowered badge in the game. And that's with a game where you have to have a badge to be able to speed boost at the highest rate. So yeah, man, and you know how important, in my opinion, speed boosting is. So yeah, man, Pickpocket comes in at number 1 spot on the list. So yeah, man, that's going to be the end of this video. That's going to be the best defensive badges in the game. If you haven't already, please do leave a like on this video. It makes it go out to a lot more people. Subscribe if you're new. If you haven't already and you're new to the channel, please hit that sub button. I'm on the road to 100K, so I really would appreciate it. Turn on post notifications to be the first to every single my video. Share this video to anybody you think this would help. But yeah, man, like I said, I got a crazy week coming out. I got a lot of videos and hits and bangers coming out very soon. I think y'all boys mess with hit miss. I got a banger week coming very soon. I told y'all I wasn't gonna start spamming y'all with banger weeks no more. We did it last when I hit 50K. We got another one coming very soon because we're at 66K right now. We're within 9K of the next banger week. So we get to 75K, we gonna have another banger week, and y'all know how those go. So yeah, man, if you haven't already, like I said, subscribe. Banger weeks, we go crazy from the giveaways to all the different things we do in banger week. Y'all gonna not want to be able to miss that, so turn on post notifications, like and subscribe. But yeah, man, without further ado, it's your boy Fitz, man. And I'm about to be, man.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Bands to make her talk, if she don't wanna speak, then that shit chalk. I came in peace till that boy talk. I'm on my knees and I'm praying to the Lord. Last year they said I was dreaming a lot. Just 1 year later and we still won't stop. Been stacking my paper, best where I know.